YouTube. This is a video on my iPhone 3GS, which is a phone released by Apple in June 2009. So, the phone itself that you see right here, I don't exactly know how old it is, but I bought it secondhand as a replacement phone because it is a heck of a lot more reliable than my Android phone, so I made a switch to this. But enough about that. So the 3GS has been around for a couple of years, and it's not really the fastest phone anymore. I mean, iPhone 5S and 5C are coming around relatively soon. Actually, to be honest, it's only going to be a couple of days probably. But this is what the phone looks like. It has a 3.5-inch screen with a resolution of 320 by 480 pixels. It's not a whole lot. It's a 2:3 aspect ratio. There's the back side with an Apple logo and my lovely case. This is the white 16GB model, by the way. There's the 3.2 megapixel camera with VGA recording for video, which is not all that great, but it works for what it is. On top we have the power button over here, the SIM card tray, 3.5mm jack. On the bottom we have speakers, a bunch of screws, and a dock connector. And on the front we don't see much interesting stuff at all, except for your phone speaker and the home button, which brings up the screen. Originally the iPhone 3GS was released with iOS 3, I believe, and this is running version 6.1.3, currently on the Dutch T-Mobile network. It is registered to me. This is the last version of iOS that will run on the 3GS, because iOS 7 will be released soon, and that will only run on the 4, 4S, 5, and 5S, 5C. So, 3GS is finally going into obsolescence, which is not all that bad if you take in consideration that this is a 4-year-old phone with only 600 MHz CPU made by Samsung, 256 megabytes of RAM, and not all that powerful PowerVR SGA. What's the name again? I forgot. Something like SGX 535, I believe. It's a GPU on this phone. So some things that the iPhone 3GS introduced are, for instance, when you hold the home button for a while, you get voice control. So you can, for instance, make your phone dial someone. I will not demonstrate that because, of course, it will register Dutch, not English at the moment. So I got a bunch of apps on here. By default, of course, you have your app store. You can download all your fun games and whatnot. In order for me to do anything on there, I'll have to turn on my Wi-Fi here, if it will pick up our network, which I highly doubt because our Wi-Fi is a bit crappy at the moment. So, but still, I've got some mail apps on here, and it's all relatively smooth. It works fine for what it is. I mean, it's only 600 megahertz, but this thing is a heck of a lot more usable than my 1 gigahertz dual-core Novathor in my Xperia Sola, which is actually the thing I'm actually recording this with, oddly enough. It's stable enough for that, but it cannot really stay stable if I want to, for instance, listen to my music, text with people, and then also, browse the web a little bit. Only 512 megabytes of RAM and Android Gingerbread with that dual core should be fine for that purpose. So I will now just demonstrate Temple Run 2, which will take a long time to load, which gives me some time to talk about my switch from Android to iOS. Because like I said, that Xperia Sola phone from Sony that I am recording this with used to be my main phone. I bought it new, and I thought it would be a heck of a replacement for my aging and, actually recycled at the moment, Samsung Galaxy S first gen. But that's not all that true, unfortunately. It has given me a lot of problems, and I've actually, lended it out to someone, and he actually ruined the bootloader, or at least the boot ROM. He modified it, so now I can't update or flash it anymore because it is simply not recognized anymore. So here I'm just, demonstrating Temple Run, which runs like a dream, which proves that even shitty PowerVR GPUs that Apple just seems to love for some odd reason can handle a game. That's the reason why they had to use a quad-core variant in their iPad 4 because a single core would be too darn slow. Yikes. Okay, that was close. And I've still got this bastard on my ass. Okay. I wanted to downgrade this thing to iOS 5, but you need SSH blobs for that. And for some reason, Cydia does not keep track of those anymore for the 3GS. I'm actually wondering if Cydia has any SSH blobs left, period. But probably not. It said, we don't have any more SSH blobs, you're simply too late. Which, well, I hate them for it. Because I want to downgrade this thing to iOS 5 and then jailbreak it, but there is no way, so I'll have to stick with 6.1.3 because I can't downgrade to 6.1.2 either, because I do not have any blobs. That's all pretty much new to me, but anyway. Also demonstrate hill climb racing here, and I'll probably just, end the video, because it's mainly just, a look at the iPhone 3GS here in 2013, and see what you can still do with it, if it's still usable. Let's see how fast I die here. It should be rather quickly, because I cannot control the brakes at the moment. Yikes! Okay, I survived that for some reason. It's a fun game if you haven't ever tried it out. It's available for iOS and Android. And I snapped my neck. There we go. Okay, alrighty then. So, how would I grade this phone? Well, for usability for nowadays, it's still perfect. It's plenty fast on the web. At least what I use it for. For instance, for checking my schedule here for my school. Fuck off. It's fast enough. Scrolling is responsive and smooth. You can also just open up a new page here. Go to tweakers.net, which is my favorite Dutch computer site. Here on the slow Wi-Fi, it loads relatively quickly. Just put it down so I can zoom. Blurry text really, becomes a lot clearer very, very quickly. No, wait for that to load. 3G also works fine on this. It's interesting to see how this 600 MHz single core is not really struggling to keep up with the things I'm doing on this phone. My Xperia Soul, I couldn't do this, in all honesty. So, it's good for calling, it's good for browsing the web, it's fine for playing some light games. The GPU in this thing is quite weak, and the latest games will not work all that well, which is to be expected if you ask me. But all in all, this phone is still very usable here in 2013, and even on iOS 6.1.3. And people that still own it, there is no need to replace it if you don't have the money for instance, a 5S or something. This will keep you comfortable for another while, at least a year or so. So that pretty much concludes my video on my iPhone 3GS. And, oh yeah, right, I forgot to mention the notifications button. It will put it into no notification mode, so silent mode, and the volume rockers. But, that's pretty much it about the phone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I see you guys next time.